We like to say it's been a big week in football. We had a lot of European Champions League matches overnight, but the English Premier League continues this weekend, and there's one location you should get down to watch it. It's the Dubliners at the Meridien Dubai Hotel and Conference Centre, because if you get down there this Saturday, you'll be able to watch the live online television program Hollywood Balls Live, and this weekend it does feature former Premier League star Danny Guthrie, who we're fortunate enough to have in the studio. Danny, thank you very much for coming in.
No, it's a pleasure. Thanks for having me.
How do you feel to say that you're a football player, a coach, and now you're an online TV star as well?
Yeah. Still better at football, I think. But working on the coaching and this, no, I'll never be able to say I'm very good at this.
But what a career you've had. I mean, 200 appearances in the Premier League. Liverpool, Newcastle, Reading, also appearing in the Championship with the big clubs, Fulham, Newcastle, Blackburn. You know, does the kind of the 7-year-old or the 8-year-old boy inside of you sometimes just wonder, I can't believe I did all that?
Yeah, it's funny. I actually do. I mean, I was never. I mean, while you're in football, you're sort of living it, breathing it every day. You never stop. But obviously, the last year I've retired from playing, and yeah, there is times I do look back and think, wow, like yeah, actually, a little pat on the back. But life moves quick, and I'm back in the game, in coaching, and it's another chapter in a totally different world to what I'm used to.
Right, maybe you made your debut at 18, for Liverpool. How was that? A big club for an 18-year-old boy, and I wouldn't want to put in too much pressure on the head. But then, the day you take that field, was it pressure? Was it excitement? What was it?
It's really difficult to describe. I mean, it's a mix of everything. But I feel like the biggest thing is that, am I good enough? You never know until you actually do it. So you always, you train with the first team and you think, oh, okay, it's not bad, but a game is different. So it's always that that suspense of, oh, am I actually good enough? And then when you take the field, obviously very proud and a bit, the lights and all that and the stars on the pitch, but it's actually realizing, oh, actually I can hold my own. I'm not out of my depth, and that was the biggest thing. It was a confidence where I thought, okay, so there's one. I've done that, and I wasn't out of place, and I can actually do this. So it just changes every day. Now I need to. Can I get into the team from the first whistle? Can I play 10 games? And it just constantly changes. The goal and the target always is. There's another one.
Is that sort of what you instill in your coaching? Because you're out here in the UAE, you're doing a lot of coaching. You said how you're coaching. You got a side in Division 3. Is that sort of the mindset that you work alongside the skills work? That mindset with the players?
Yeah, I get. It's all new to me, the coaching, and I learn every day, and I make mistakes. And but the real advantage I do have, I guess, is I have been there and done it, so I can speak from personal experiences and just advice on what it takes and what I've seen, and obviously seeing the top players and how they did it and what they did day in, day out. I don't think necessarily being the player has anything to do with the coaching. I guess it's just the advice and the experience.
Well, in your career, who are the players that inspired you? Who are the ones that you saw, they did so much extra training, extra drills, that just had an extra special work ethic?
Listen, I tell all the guys that I coach now, and anyone that wants to speak about football, that it's no coincidence that the biggest, best players always did the most, and they worked the hardest, and they were the most professional. I mean, growing up through the Liverpool Academy and seeing Gerrard and Carragher very closely, and Alonso, the training was really intense. It was the most intense I'd ever seen throughout my career. The professionalism, the gym, the food, and it's just there's never any coincidences. It goes hand in hand.
I love that bit, because for people who are sitting out and watching the game, it appears as if there are 11 men who are in the field, but out of them there is only one star. They don't see the hard work. They love the Ronaldos and the Messis of the world, but they don't see the hard work that's been put in. But someone who's played the game and played alongside some of the biggest names, you yourself have 200 games to your credit. It's not a small feat. Experience speaks more than anything else that could be taught. How do you, as a coach, transfer that experience to the ones who are learning the game?
I guess, like I said, I think it's just an advice and giving the guys the tools in terms of what I've seen top players did, what I've seen myself doing, As a coach, I mean, we can talk and we can give instructions, but the guys, they have to go on the field. And football's all about decisions and decision making.
Yep.
And whether they make the right decision or they don't, we can only give them the options before they go on. But it's a great string to my bow, obviously being a player, an ex-player, and then playing against and with top players, that I can say, no, hold on a minute. I know we all see the goals or the assists and the thing, but honestly, the training day in, day out, the dedication, the obsession they have with football, these guys, and just doing the right things, I think that's so powerful.
When it came down to making your debut, was Benitez the manager at Liverpool when you were there?
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was, and it was a very successful period for Liverpool. And
because you joined, that was the season after that, the famous the Champions League victory in Turkey.
So I made my debut the year after that one, and then we went to the final the next year, and I played in the group stages of that Champions League. And at that time, the squad was fantastic for Liverpool. Benitez had built a really good team, particularly in midfield, where I was trying to get in, the names Alonso, Gerrard, Mascherano. It was brilliant. Listen, playing as much as I could with them, training every day. But at some point, it was a decision where, am I actually going to be able to become my own player here with so many big stars? So it was a decision to move on.
And how hard is that? Because I followed Liverpool a lot at that time, because my favourite player growing up was an Aussie player called Harry Kewell.
I played with him,
and he was in and out. I think he only played 6 games in 5 years or something with his groin, poor guy.
He was H was there when I was there, and he struggled massively with injuries. But any time he did get fit and train and play, you could see he was brilliant. Obviously, we knew what a player he was before he joined Liverpool.
And he's coaching now as well, so he's up in Celtic.
Yeah. Well, I actually played against one of his teams. He was coaching Oldham in England, and I played against his team there, so it was nice to see him.
Full circle.
Yeah. No, he was a brilliant guy. But like I say to the boys, even during the injuries, H was out for long periods, and it's really difficult and frustrating, but he was such a professional, and every day in the gym, and just like I said, he was a top player as well. Look,
when we come to football here in the UAE, this is sort of the biggest thing that's really ever going to happen with football here, having the World Cup in Qatar. How do you think it's going to go? How do you think that, will it be a success, and how do you think it's going to be regarded back in traditional football countries coming to a non-traditional football country?
Listen, I'm really looking forward to it. First and foremost, I think the quality is going to be amazing, as always in a World Cup. I think there's one or two top players hitting form at the right time in Neymar and Messi. So it'll be interesting to see. They seem to be peaking at the right time. England don't at the moment. No, I'm really looking forward to it. And look, it's something different. It's a different time of the year. It's a different area of the world we're in. But you can see the facilities look amazing, and as always, we don't know how it will run, how smoothly it will go, but I think the expectations are it will be excellent.
As a player, would you prefer a mid-tournament World Cup? Like when I say mid-season World Cup?
Yeah, I mean, as long as you get a break in the summer, I think the guys will be fine. I think that's the only concern about overplaying these players.
Yeah, but then again, see, the preparation for players to prepare for the World Cup. It comes in summer, you prepare, you have time. You finish the World Cup, you have time to prepare for your leagues and all. Smack in the centre of leagues, you have to play the World Cup. Injuries scare, worries with the clubs. I'm sure the clubs are by chewing their nails at watching the game. That damn, I hope he doesn't injure himself playing for Argentina.
Yeah.
How does a player prepare in this case?
Yeah, interesting. I mean, I can look at it from a coach's point of view, and I can look at it from, say, Gareth Southgate's point of view, and it's I'd be really worried because you don't get enough time to be with your players, and you always want as much time on the training ground, and he'll obviously be watching. I think Kyle Walker got injured for Man City last week, and I'm sure he'll be thinking, oh wow, there's another one. From the club's point of view, these teams going for leagues like Jurgen Klopp, I'm sure he'll be watching thinking, like you said, I hope no one comes back injured. We've got top 4 and stuff to go for. A player's point of view, I think it's just excitement. I really do. I think there's nothing bigger in a career than playing in a World Cup. And I don't think there's this theory about players are saving themselves. I really don't. I mean, once that whistle goes and you're on that grass, there's nowhere you ever take it easy or take your foot off the gas. I don't believe in that either.
This weekend there's a couple of big matches coming up, but look, I mean, last weekend I sat there in between watching the Singapore Grand Prix. It was the Manchester Derby. What would you be doing if you were coaching Man U? I mean, would you have started Ronaldo? Would you have brought him on? What would you do with him now?
I think he wouldn't take the job.
Yeah, well,
honestly, that could be, apart from the England one, that could be the hardest one in the world, that job.
Yeah.
It's really, I mean, I think City are the team that if they're clicking on the right time at the right day, I think they can do that to anyone, no matter who's playing. So it was, and plus they've got this monster up front who's just unplayable at the minute. I looked at it and thought, what would I do as a coach? And yeah, there was, I could just see City just seemed to be, purring at the right time. Man United they're caught in between styles. I know Ten Hag wants to play this Ajax, play out from the back. He's had some success recently against Liverpool and Arsenal, playing a little bit more direct. But I still think they were caught in between the two styles, and I think whenever you do that as a team and a coach, I think it can come across messy, and you will get caught out by top teams.
Interesting. I mean, these are the tactical things that as a player you can explain, and this just helps, and it probably, I would say, enhances the viewing experience of someone who's watching the game. But hey, Premier League. If we look at the league tables right now, would you be able to point a finger at 3 teams, or rather the top 4?
Oof. Well, it's difficult because I'm a big Liverpool fan, and at the minute we are, we're in a difficult place. It's horrible to say. I think our aim will be top 4 this year. I don't think anyone will catch City. I can't see Arsenal. Let's have a look after Christmas. They're playing really well. And then you're looking at Chelsea and Tottenham. And then one of them's going to miss out. I would have to say at the moment, watching the North London derby last week, I wasn't convinced with Spurs. I think they might be the ones to miss out. I think Potter will get Chelsea in a good place soon. He's a very good coach. Right. So I'd have to say the top 4 for me would look like City, Arsenal, Chelsea and Liverpool.
Well, it's a big game coming up this weekend. It's Chelsea versus Wolverhampton, and you're going to be down there as part of Hollywood Balls Live. So this concept down there at the Meridien Dubai Hotel and Conference Centre, you can come down, you can have lunch, and you can watch you and all the experts talk about the game, and it's really like watching the pre-show TV coverage live before the match.
No, it is. It's brilliant, and I'm really looking forward to it. Like you said, we get to we go through all the fixtures that weekend, but there'll be a live game on that we can talk about. It's a really relaxed atmosphere, good fun, good banter. So I would encourage anyone to come down. Yeah,
it's the Dubliners at Meridien Dubai Hotel and Conference Centre. You can see Danny, and there's going to be a whole heap of people down there as part of Hollywood Balls Live in collaboration with the Dubliners. Danny, thank you very much for coming in, sharing the story of your career, and also it's good to see someone else who's come out to this part of the world to make it home. You've got the suntan already, you've got the glow.
Yeah. No, it's I'm still adjusting 1 year in, and I'm still adjusting to the heat.
Great to have you in. TSB Talk Sport Business on Talk